Hello everyone, welcome back to Super Rare Coins, the channel where we explore the most valuable and fascinating coins ever discovered. Today's video is going to be very exciting because we're counting down the top 4 rare coins that collectors are searching for right now. Some of these coins may look completely ordinary, just like the ones you might find in your pocket or coin jar, but their value in the collector market could absolutely shock you. Top 1. The United States Lincoln Memorial 1-cent coin with the large date from 1982 and no mint mark. At first glance, it looks like an ordinary penny, but certain examples of this coin have captured the attention of collectors and auction houses around the world. The year 1982 is one of the most interesting years in the history of Lincoln cents. During this year, the United States Mint made a major change in the metal composition of the penny. Before 1982, pennies were mostly made from copper. But because copper prices were rising, the mint switched to a zinc core with a thin copper coating. This change created several different varieties of the 1982 penny, including large date and small date versions, struck at different mint facilities. The coin we are discussing today is the 1982 Lincoln Memorial cent with a large date and no mint mark. The absence of a mint mark means the coin was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. Millions of pennies were made there that year. But what makes certain pieces valuable is their condition, striking quality, and sometimes subtle variety differences that collectors carefully study. On the front of the coin, you'll see the familiar portrait of President Abraham Lincoln. This iconic design was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. Above his portrait is the word Liberty, and the year 1982 appears clearly on the right side. On coins with the large date variety, the numbers in the date appear thicker and more prominent compared to the small date version. Turning the coin over, you'll see the Lincoln Memorial Building standing proudly in the center. This reverse design was used on pennies from 1959 until 2008. If you look closely between the columns of the memorial, you can even see a tiny image of the Lincoln statue inside the building. Around the design are the words United States of America, 1 cent, and the national motto, E pluribus unum. Most 1982 pennies you find in circulation are worth only 1 cent. However, collectors know that coins in exceptional condition can be far more valuable. A circulated coin typically shows signs of everyday use. This includes surface wear, small scratches, and light damage from years of handling and movement through pockets, jars, and cash registers. Even with these imperfections, some coins remain attractive and collectible. In the case of a circulated 1982 large date Lincoln Memorial cent with no mint mark, the value can increase depending on how well the details of the design are preserved. Collectors often look closely at Lincoln's hair, the lettering on the coin, and the sharpness of the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse side. If these details remain strong despite surface wear, the coin can still be considered desirable. Another factor that affects value is rarity within certain collecting circles. Some collectors specialize in the complex varieties of 1982 pennies because there were multiple compositions and date styles produced in the same year. Identifying each type can be challenging. This complexity makes the 1982 series exciting for collectors who enjoy searching through rolls of pennies or old coin collections. At major coin auctions, exceptional examples of rare or unusual 1982 Lincoln cents have drawn remarkable attention. While most circulated coins sell for small amounts, certain coins that are well preserved or associated with unique minting characteristics have reportedly reached impressive prices. In some cases, collectors have valued specific examples at around $100,000 in the competitive auction market. This kind of price may sound unbelievable for a simple penny, but the world of coin collecting is full of surprises. A coin's story, rarity, and condition can transform something small and ordinary into a prized treasure. That's why collectors carefully examine even the most common-looking coins. If you ever come across a 1982 Lincoln Memorial penny with a large date and no mint mark, take a closer look before spending it. Check the condition, study the details, and consider weighing the coin if possible, because the composition can also help identify important varieties. You never know when a tiny piece of copper-colored history could turn out to be something truly valuable. Stories like this remind us that hidden treasures can still be found in everyday places. A single penny sitting quietly in your change jar might carry decades of history and a surprising value waiting to be discovered by the right collector. Top 2. The United States. The Lincoln Memorial 1 cent with a large date from 1960 and no mint mark. While millions of these pennies were produced, certain examples have become extremely interesting to collectors around the world. The Lincoln cent has a long and important history in American coinage. The design was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of the birth of President Abraham Lincoln. It was the first regular United States coin to feature the portrait of a real historical person. The obverse of the coin shows the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln facing to the right. Above his head, you can see the words, "I in God we trust," while the word liberty appears to the left side. The year 1960 appears on the right side of the coin. In 1959, the reverse design of the penny was changed to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. Instead of the classic wheat ears design that had been used for 50 years, the new reverse featured the Lincoln Memorial Building in Washington, D.C. This design remained in use until 2008. Around the memorial, you will see the inscriptions United States of America, E pluribus unum, and the denomination 1 cent. If you look closely between the columns of the memorial, you can even notice a tiny image of the statue of Abraham Lincoln sitting inside. The coin we are discussing today is the 1960 Lincoln Memorial cent with a large date and no mint mark. The absence of a mint mark means the coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. During 1960, the United States Mint produced billions of pennies to keep up with the demand for circulating coins. Because of this massive production, most of the 1960 pennies that people find today are common and worth only their face value. However, collectors pay attention to small differences that appear on coins from certain years. In 1960, there are two main date styles, known as the large date and the small date. The large date version shows thicker and taller numbers in the year, making them easier to see with the naked eye. The shape of the numbers, especially the 6 and the 0, is noticeably larger compared to the small date variety. These differences may seem small, but to coin collectors they are extremely important. Most of the 1960 large date pennies that you find today are in circulated condition. A circulated coin has spent years moving through everyday transactions, passing from hand to hand. Because of this, the coin often shows signs of wear and tear. The high points of the design become smoother over time, especially on Lincoln's hair and coat. The surface may show scratches, marks, or light damage caused by contact with other coins and objects. Even with these signs of circulation, collectors still examine these coins carefully. The overall appearance, remaining detail, and originality of the coin can still make it interesting to buyers. Some circulated coins still display strong details in the lettering, date, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse side. When a coin maintains clear features despite years of use, collectors consider it more desirable. Another reason collectors search for coins from 1960 is because certain varieties or exceptional examples can attract strong interest in the auction market. In rare situations, coins that have unusual characteristics, extremely well-preserved surfaces, or special collector demand can reach very high prices. These extraordinary examples often surprise people who never imagined that a single penny could be worth thousands or even more. In the competitive world of coin auctions, remarkable Lincoln cents have sometimes been valued at impressive levels. Some collectors estimate that a rare and highly desirable example of the 1960 large-date Lincoln Memorial cent with no mint mark could reach values around $110,000, depending on rarity, demand, and collector interest at the time of sale. Stories like these are exactly why coin collecting remains one of the most exciting hobbies in the world. A tiny copper coin that many people ignore could actually hold a surprising piece of history and value. Every scratch, mark, and sign of wear tells a story about the journey the coin has taken through decades of everyday life. So the next time you find a handful of pennies in your pocket, take a moment to look at them carefully. Check the dates, the designs, and the small details that might make one coin different from another. You never know when an ordinary-looking Lincoln Memorial penny from 1960 might turn out to be something far more valuable than its 1 cent face value. Top 3. The United States Lincoln Shield penny from 2011 with a large date and no mint mark. At first glance, it may look like a simple coin that has been used in everyday circulation, but certain examples of this coin have caught the attention of collectors and coin enthusiasts. The Lincoln penny has been part of American history for more than a century. The design first appeared in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. Since then, the penny has gone through several design changes on the reverse side, while Lincoln's portrait has remained on the front. In 2010, the United States Mint introduced a new reverse design known as the Union Shield, and this design is still used on pennies today. On the front of the 2011 Lincoln Shield penny, you will see the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln facing to the right. Above his head appears the national motto, "I in God we trust." To the left of Lincoln's portrait is the word liberty, and the year 2011 appears on the right side of the coin. When a coin has no mint mark, it means it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which is one of the main coin production facilities in the United States. The reverse side of the coin features the bold Union Shield design. At the top of the shield is a banner with the words E pluribus unum, which means out of many one. The shield itself represents the strength and unity of the United States, with vertical stripes symbolizing the original states coming together under one federal government. Across the center of the shield, you will see the words 1 cent, and around the edge appear the words United States of America. Billions of pennies were produced in 2011, so most of them are extremely common. Many people handle them every day without paying attention. Because these coins circulate through stores, banks, and households for years, they often show signs of use. A circulated coin typically has visible wear, scratches, and sometimes edge damage from constant contact with other coins and surfaces. The coin we are discussing today is described as being in circulated condition with noticeable wear and tear. This means the coin has been used in everyday transactions and is no longer in its original mint condition. The surface may show small scratches and marks, and the edges might display damage from years of movement and handling. These features are very common for coins that have spent a long time in circulation. Even though circulated coins usually have lower value than uncirculated examples, collectors still pay attention to them. Sometimes a coin becomes valuable because of unusual characteristics, minting errors, or strong collector demand for certain varieties. Modern coins can occasionally develop interest among collectors if they show something unique or unexpected during the minting process. For Lincoln Shield pennies, collectors often study details, such as the clarity of the shield lines, the sharpness of the lettering, and the overall appearance of the coin. Even when a coin shows scratches or edge damage, collectors may still examine it closely to determine whether it has any unusual traits or rare features. In the world of coin collecting, Stories of surprising discoveries are very common. Coins that appear ordinary at first glance can sometimes attract serious attention once experts study them more closely. When collectors compete to obtain a coin that is considered rare or special, the auction price can rise dramatically. In certain auction discussions and collector markets, rare or unusual examples of Lincoln pennies have been reported to reach extremely high values. Some collectors have suggested that special examples of coins, like the 2011 Lincoln Shield penny with no mint mark, could potentially reach values around $115,000 if the coin has unique characteristics and strong collector interest. This possibility is exactly why so many collectors enjoy searching through everyday change. Even modern coins can hold surprises, and valuable pieces are sometimes discovered in the most unexpected places. A simple penny sitting in a jar or lying at the bottom of a drawer might turn out to be far more interesting than it first appears. The next time you come across a 2011 Lincoln Shield penny, take a moment to examine it carefully. Look at the details of Lincoln's portrait, check the shield design on the reverse, and notice any marks or unusual features on the surface and edges. While most pennies are only worth 1 cent, the world of coin collecting has shown time and time again that small coins can sometimes hold big surprises. Top 4. The United States Lincoln Shield penny from 2013 with a D mint mark and a large date. The Lincoln penny has been an important part of American coinage for more than a century. The design first appeared in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was also the first circulating United States coin to feature the portrait of a real historical figure. Over the years, the design on the reverse side of the penny has changed several times, but Lincoln's portrait on the front has remained a constant symbol of American history. On the obverse side of the 2013 Lincoln Shield penny, you will see the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln facing to the right. Above his head appears the phrase, "In God we trust," which has been used on American coins for many years. To the left of Lincoln's portrait, you will see the word Liberty, and on the right side is the date 2013. Just below the date is a small letter D, which represents the Denver Mint where this particular coin was produced. The reverse side of the coin features the modern Union Shield design. This design was introduced in 2010 and is still used today on Lincoln pennies. The shield represents the strength and unity of the United States. At the top of the shield there is a banner carrying the Latin phrase E pluribus unum, which means out of many one. Across the middle of the shield you can clearly see the words 1 cent, while the outer edge displays the words United States of America. In 2013, the United States Mint produced billions of pennies in both Philadelphia and Denver. Because so many were made, most of these coins are extremely common and usually worth only their face value. However, coin collectors often look closely at modern coins because sometimes certain varieties, minting errors, or unusual features can make a coin far more valuable than expected. The example we are discussing today is described as being in circulated condition. A circulated coin is one that has been used in everyday transactions for years. As a result, the coin usually shows signs of wear and tear. On the surface, you may notice scratches, small marks, and slight dullness caused by repeated handling. These scratches often appear when coins rub against each other inside pockets, cash registers, or coin jars. Despite these imperfections, many circulated coins still attract attention from collectors. The amount of remaining detail plays an important role in determining value. On a circulated 2013 penny, collectors often examine Lincoln's hair, the sharpness of the lettering, and the details of the Union shield on the reverse. If these features remain relatively clear even with surface scratches, the coin can still be considered collectible. Another important factor in coin collecting is the possibility of unique characteristics. Occasionally, a coin may leave the mint with a small error or unusual feature that makes it stand out from the billions of others produced that year. These unusual coins can quickly become highly desirable once collectors begin searching for them. The excitement of finding a valuable coin is one of the reasons why coin collecting remains such a popular hobby around the world. Even modern coins like the 2013 Lincoln Shield penny can create interest among collectors who carefully examine their pocket change in hopes of finding something rare. In some cases, collectors and auction houses have reported surprising prices for rare or unusual Lincoln pennies. When a coin has strong collector demand, unusual minting characteristics, or exceptional preservation, its value can rise dramatically during competitive bidding at auction events. Because of these factors, certain rare examples of coins similar to the 2013 Lincoln Shield penny with a D-mint mark have been discussed in collector markets, with potential values reaching around $130,000. While most pennies will never reach that level, the possibility is enough to encourage collectors to keep searching through their coins. This is what makes coin collecting so exciting. A tiny coin that many people overlook every day could hold a fascinating story and possibly a surprising value. Every mark, scratch, and sign of wear represents a small piece of the coin's journey through years of circulation.